Hear that? That's the sound of a small circle of metal changing a collector's life. Welcome to Coins Hunter USA, where rare American treasures hide in plain sight and I help you find them. Today, we're spotlighting the state quarter, a coin so familiar it slips past most eyes, yet packed with secrets that can turn pocket change into prime collectibles. In the next moments, I'll show you the tells that separate ordinary from extraordinary, the mint quirks that make values jump, and the subtle details most hunters miss. We'll zoom in on sharp strikes, luster, and those delicious errors that make hearts race. Think off-center drama, missing clad surprises, and double details that shout rarity. If you love the hunt, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and let's start scanning those rims, reading those letters, and chasing the next standout for your tray. Grab your loop, hold your breath, and lean in. Our state quarter story starts now, and you don't want to blink. Top 1: A winter river, a wooden boat, and a moment that changed a nation. The United States of America New Jersey state quarter from 1999 captures Washington crossing the Delaware with cold determination and a crew of rowers cutting through the current. This is not just a scene on metal. It is motion, grit, and history compressed into 25 cents that can, in the right form, become a crown jewel in a serious collection. Hold one under light and the story begins. On the obverse, Washington's portrait should glow with even luster, cheek and jaw free from heavy contact. On the reverse, the oars, the boat planks, the clustered figures, and the rippled water demand a sharp strike to fully sing. This design is dense with detail, which means it separates the ordinary from the exceptional with brutal honesty. When the dies were fresh and the strike was crisp, the coin rewards you with crisp contours and mirrors or satin that roll like liquid. When something went wrong at the mint, this same complexity turns into a showcase of dramatic, collectible errors. Let's talk perfection first, because perfection is powerful. For business strikes, you want booming cartwheel luster and fields that look open and clean to the naked eye. Under a loop, hit counts on Washington's cheek should be minimal, the rim full and square, and the reverse devices bold. For proofs, cameo contrast is queen. Frosted devices against deep, black mirrors with no haze, no hairlines, and no milkiness is the look that makes graders lean forward. Silver proofs bring an extra pop, with a cool tone and razor-straight rims that photograph like a dream. Now, the path where chaos becomes gold. The 1999 New Jersey quarter is a magnet for certain mint-made errors, and collectors love them because the busy reverse makes each anomaly visually obvious. Missing clad layer. When an outer nickel layer fails to bond, one side exposes the warm copper core. You will see a dramatic color split and a step along the edge where the layers meet. The contrast is instant and the story is undeniable. Off-center strikes. If the design drifts toward one edge, leaving a blank crescent, the tableau of the crossing becomes a dynamic diagonal. If the date stays visible, desirability amplifies. Broad strikes. When the collar fails, the coin spreads outward, losing reading. Rims go soft and wide, and the crossing looks gently stretched. A clean, even spread reads as authentic and collectible. Double strikes and flip over double strikes. A second blow offset or rotated leaves ghost images of oars, letters, or Washington's head that feel like motion captured in metal. These are showpieces under any light. Wrong planchet strikes. The New Jersey design landing on a dime planchet or other wrong stock creates an undersized coin with partial legends and weak rims. Weight and diameter will be off, but your eyes will notice first. Clipped planchets. Curved or straight bites taken out of the edge are dramatic. Opposite the clip, look for the Blakesley effect, a weakened rim that helps confirm authenticity, struck through debris or grease. Missing or softened parts of the oars, vanished water lines, or faint letters can be caused by material between die and planchet. Large, cleanly edged struck-throughs are especially desirable. Die cracks, chips, and cuds. The crowded reverse invites metal flow. Raised cracks can travel through oars or along the boat. Chips can fill letter bowls. A cud that merges the rim into the design is a conversation stopper and a value driver. Rotated dies. Hold the obverse upright, flip top to bottom, and check alignment. A significant rotation gives the scene a surreal twist that collectors line up to own. True hub doubling. Machine doubling is flat and shelf-like. Real doubling shows rounded, raised separation and notching at letter corners. Inspect United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the outlines of oars and figures for sculptural split lines. Genuine hub doubling on this reverse can be subtle yet very rewarding when verified. Rarity is a mix of survival and condition. Billions of state quarters exist, but almost none survive in ultra-gem grades with perfect eye appeal. Registry collectors compete for top pop examples, and the last grade step at the summit can multiply value dramatically. A flawless business strike with glassy fields, needle-sharp rims, and zero distractions, or a proof with thunderous deep cameo and no haze, can become a centerpiece. Pair that with absolute certification from a respected grading service and you have provenance, protection, and buyer confidence in one holder. Here is a fast, repeatable hunt routine to separate treasures from pocket change. First pass by silhouette. Are the rims even? Is the edge fully reeded? Do you see a clip, a spread rim, or a dramatic off-center shift? Big errors wave their hands here. Second pass by color and texture. Any copper peeking through on one side? Any strange matte patch or soft zone that hints at a struck-through? Third pass by architecture. Trace every oar. Follow the boat gunnel from bow to stern. Scan the water lines. Look for breaks, doubling, or raised cracks. Fourth pass by letters and numbers. Read every word. Watch for filled letters, missing segments, or doubled notches at corners. Fifth pass by alignment and rotation. Flip the coin and check orientation. A bold rotation is easy money. Final pass by luster and mirrors. Does the light glide smoothly? Are the mirrors deep and the frost thick and even? Eye appeal is the multiplier. Protect what you find. Never clean. Handle by the edges. Use soft lighting for inspection and neutral backgrounds for photos. Weigh questionable pieces. Compare to a known normal example from the same year and mint. When something checks the boxes, let a top-tier grading service authenticate and encapsulate. A verified error or a top-pop grade is the difference between an interesting coin and a documented trophy with a line of eager bidders. For the storyteller in you, this coin photographs beautifully. A missing clad layer makes the river glow copper against nickel. An off-center strike turns the boat into a diagonal artwork. A flip-over double strike creates a ghostly Washington over a second set of oars that arrests the eye in a thumbnail. Every rarity becomes not just a numismatic win, but a visual hook for your video. For true lovers of the series, the New Jersey Quarter is both a classroom and a theater. It teaches how to read metal flow, how to spot authentic doubling, how to separate a collar failure from post-mint damage. And it puts on a show when the mint hiccups, displaying errors that even non-collectors understand at a glance. That is the kind of coin that grows channels, builds collections, and keeps the hunt alive. Top 2. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable quarters ever minted, the United States of America State Quarter from New York, released in 2001. This isn't just another quarter you'd find in your pocket. This is a coin that represents freedom, strength, and pride, and if you happen to own the right one, it could also represent a small fortune. The 2001 New York State Quarter was introduced as part of the legendary 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each design celebrated the heritage and identity of one of the U.S. states. When it was New York's turn, the U.S. Mint created something truly remarkable. The coin features the Statue of Liberty, an iconic symbol of hope and freedom, standing tall against an outline of the state itself. Behind her, lines trace the paths of the Hudson River and the Erie Canal, powerful reminders of New York's history as a gateway for millions of immigrants and as the heartbeat of commerce and culture in America. But beyond its artistic beauty, this coin hides secrets that only the trained eyes of collectors can truly appreciate. You see, while millions of New York quarters were minted for circulation, a very small number came out with rare minting errors, and those are the coins that can turn a simple 25-cent piece into a collector's dream worth thousands of dollars. One of the most famous and highly prized varieties is the double die obverse error, where parts of the design, particularly the text, Liberty, or Gateway to Freedom, appear slightly doubled. It's subtle, but under magnification, you can clearly see the shift in the lettering, creating a ghost-like duplication effect. Coins with this kind of flaw are extremely rare because mint inspectors typically catch and destroy them before release. But a few always slip through, and those few are the treasures we're talking about today. Another incredibly valuable version is the off-center strike error, where the coin's design isn't properly aligned during minting, leaving one side thinner or partially blank. Collectors love these kinds of mistakes because no two are ever identical. They represent a unique snapshot of history, a one-of-one creation born out of a machine's split-second misalignment, and then there's the wrong planchet error, perhaps the most fascinating of them all. These coins were accidentally struck on the metal blanks intended for other denominations, like dimes or foreign coins. That means they might weigh less, feel thinner, or have a slightly different tone when dropped. Such errors are extremely scarce, and when authenticated, they can skyrocket in value on the collector's market. But rarity isn't the only thing that makes the New York State Quarter special, it's the meaning behind the coin. Released just months before one of the most defining and heartbreaking moments in New York's modern history, the coin became an unintentional symbol of strength, resilience, and unity. For many collectors, it represents not only the history of the state but also the unwavering spirit of the American people. Coin enthusiasts are constantly searching for mint state examples, quarters that have never been circulated, showing no scratches or wear. Those struck at the Philadelphia, P, or Denver, D, mints are valuable in their own right, but the San Francisco, S, proof versions are especially coveted for their deep mirror-like finish and crisp detail. Some collectors focus specifically on these proof sets, hunting for even the slightest variation in strike quality or die condition, and here's the exciting part: in the world of coin collecting, small differences can mean massive payoffs. Something as simple as a faint doubling in the lettering, a tiny die crack, or even a slightly misplaced mint mark can increase the coin's value exponentially. That's why experts always say, never underestimate the coins in your pocket. Every quarter, every penny, every dime could hold a story, or a surprise worth thousands. Over the years, coin auctions and private sales have recorded some mind-blowing numbers for rare New York quarters. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for coins that combine beauty, rarity, and historical significance. Even quarters with minimal wear but containing distinct minting flaws can reach remarkable values. Imagine this: a coin you might casually spend on a soda could actually be worth more than a brand new car. The thrill of discovering one of these rare treasures is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you'll stumble upon something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. So, what should you look for? Start by examining the details of your 2001 New York State quarters carefully. Look at the edges, the lettering, and especially the date and mint mark. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you spot doubling or striking variations. Coins with unusual toning, misaligned designs, or unusual textures are always worth a second look. Collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters alike continue to search for that one special coin that can change everything. And believe it or not, some of these rare quarters have already sold for astonishing prices. Among them, one particular 2001 New York State quarter, featuring a double die error and pristine mirror-like finish, was sold for an incredible $93,000. Yes, you heard that right, $93,000 for a single quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting. History and fortune can sit quietly in your change jar, just waiting to be discovered. So before you spend that next quarter, take a closer look. It might not just be a coin, it could be a piece of American history worth more than you can imagine. Top 3. We're diving deep into one of the most captivating pieces from the legendary 50 State Quarters program, the United States of America Ohio State Quarter from 2002. At first glance, it might look like just another coin you'd find in your pocket change, but don't be fooled, this quarter could be hiding extraordinary value. For collectors and coin enthusiasts, the 2002 Ohio State Quarter represents a perfect blend of American heritage, technological triumph, and unexpected rarity. And for a lucky few who happen to own the right version, it could mean a small fortune. Let's take a journey back to when this beautiful coin was first introduced. The Ohio State Quarter was the 17th coin in the State Quarters program, released in early 2002. Its design pays tribute to Ohio's proud history as the birthplace of aviation. Engraved with the outline of the state, a sleek astronaut in a space suit floats gracefully next to a biplane, symbolizing Ohio's incredible contribution to flight, from the Wright brothers' first journey in the sky to the modern era of space exploration. Beneath it all, the words, "birthplace of aviation pioneers," remind us of Ohio's legacy of innovation and courage. But beyond the design, something far more fascinating lies beneath the surface: the minting errors and rare variations that make certain Ohio quarters worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. You see, not every Ohio State quarter was created equally. During the minting process, small imperfections can occur, and in the world of numismatics, those imperfections can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. One of the most sought-after versions of this coin is the double die obverse error, where parts of the text, like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," appear faintly doubled. This subtle duplication happens when the die strikes the coin twice, slightly out of alignment. It's almost invisible to the naked eye, but under magnification, it's a breathtaking sight for collectors. Another extremely rare version is the off-center strike error, where the coin's design isn't perfectly aligned. In these coins, part of the state outline or the astronaut's figure may appear cut off or misplaced. These are incredibly rare because the US Mint has strict quality control, yet every so often, one slips through the cracks, turning a 25-cent coin into something worth thousands. There are also planchet errors, where the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal blank. Imagine finding a quarter that weighs less than normal or feels slightly different to the touch. That could be a wrong planchet Ohio quarter. These unique coins are extremely collectible and highly sought after at auctions. Now, let's talk about why collectors love the Ohio State quarter so much. It's not just because of the errors, it's also about its symbolism. Ohio's design celebrates human achievement and ambition, connecting the dreams of the past to the progress of the present. From the Wright brothers soaring over Dayton to astronauts like John Glenn and Neil Armstrong venturing into space, this coin tells a story that embodies the American spirit of exploration, and for collectors, coins like this are more than metal. They're tangible pieces of history, a reflection of craftsmanship, pride, and sometimes, pure luck. The fact that such a small coin can hold so much meaning and potential value is what keeps collectors searching, examining, and dreaming of that once-in-a-lifetime find. Now, if you're wondering what to look for in your own pocket change, here are a few tips. Examine your 2002 Ohio State quarters closely, especially around the lettering, the astronaut's details, and the outline of the state. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to look for any signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual metal textures. Coins with strong mint luster, clean surfaces, and no scratches are the ones to keep an eye on. Some collectors even seek out proof coins, special editions struck with extra care, often featuring mirror-like finishes and incredibly sharp details. If you come across an Ohio State quarter marked with an S mint mark from San Francisco, hold on to it. Proof coins are minted in limited quantities and can carry high collector value, especially if preserved in pristine condition. Over the years, Ohio State quarters with unique minting errors have sold for astonishing amounts. These coins have caught the attention of serious collectors and auction houses alike, fetching prices far beyond their face value. And one remarkable example of this coin, a 2002 Ohio State quarter with an exceptionally rare double die error and preserved in perfect condition, was sold for an incredible $96,000. Yes, you heard that right, $96,000 for a single quarter that most people would never look at twice. That's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill that something so small, so ordinary, could hold such extraordinary value. It's what keeps collectors hunting, searching, and hoping that their next coin might be the rare treasure they've been dreaming of. So before you spend your next quarter, take a moment to check your change. Look carefully, that little piece of metal could be worth more than you can imagine. You never know when you'll hold a piece of history in your hands, just waiting to be discovered. Top 4 today, we're diving into one of the most beautiful and surprisingly valuable pieces in the entire state quarters collection, the United States of America Oklahoma State Quarter from 2008. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a 25-cent coin, how could it be worth anything more? Well, that's the fascinating part. Some of these Oklahoma quarters have unique characteristics, rare minting errors, and hidden details that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. So, grab your magnifying glass and listen closely, because your next coin find could change everything. The Oklahoma State Quarter, released in 2008, was the last quarter issued in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. It represents not only the beauty of the Sooner State but also the grand finale of one of the most popular coin series in American history. Its design is breathtaking, featuring the state bird, the scissor-tailed flycatcher, soaring gracefully over a field of wild Indian blanket flowers, Oklahoma's state wildflower. It's a coin that truly captures the spirit of freedom and natural beauty that defines Oklahoma, but behind this stunning design lies something even more fascinating: rarity and value. You see, while millions of Oklahoma quarters were minted, only a handful have those special traits that make collectors go wild. These are the error coins, and they're the reason why some of these quarters can sell for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about the errors that make these coins special. The most well-known among collectors is the double die obverse error. This occurs when the coin's design elements, like the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," are struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a shadow-like doubling effect. It's a rare minting flaw that turns a regular coin into a collector's dream. Then there's the off-center strike error, another favorite among numismatists. This happens when the coin is struck incorrectly, causing the design to appear shifted to one side. Depending on how off-center the coin is, its value can rise dramatically. A perfectly off-centered Oklahoma State quarter can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if the coin's date is still visible, and let's not forget the clipped planchet error, where a portion of the coin's edge appears to be bitten off. This happens when the blank metal disc used to strike the coin overlaps during production. These quirky mistakes are extremely collectible and add a unique story to every coin that carries them. Now, here's what makes the 2008 Oklahoma quarter even more exciting: it's one of the final coins of the original 50-state quarters program, which means collectors often seek it out to complete their sets. But finding a rare variation, one with striking errors or near-perfect condition, is like finding the crown jewel of the collection. Coin grading also plays a huge role in determining its value. If your Oklahoma quarter is in mint state, MS, condition, meaning it looks brand new, with no scratches, wear, or discoloration, it's already worth more than face value. But if you're lucky enough to find a proof version, especially one with an S mint mark from San Francisco, or a coin with a striking mint error, then you could be holding a piece of metal worth more than gold. Collectors love these coins not just for their monetary value but for their artistic and historical significance. The Oklahoma quarter beautifully symbolizes the state's natural splendor, while also marking the end of an unforgettable chapter in American coinage. It's the perfect blend of art, history, and chance, the exact combination that keeps collectors searching through their pocket change every day. Now imagine this: you're sorting through your coins one evening, and you spot an Oklahoma quarter that looks different. The details are sharp, the lettering looks doubled, and the design feels slightly off-center. You decide to get it appraised, and the expert tells you that you're holding one of the rarest state quarters ever minted. That's the kind of discovery every coin hunter dreams about, and here's the best part: these valuable versions of the Oklahoma quarter have been found in ordinary circulation. That means someone, somewhere, used a potentially life-changing coin to buy a cup of coffee, and it's still out there, waiting to be found by someone like you. So, before you spend your next quarter, check it carefully. Look closely at the edges, the letters, and the fine details of the design. A tiny imperfection could mean a huge payday. And if you're a collector, this is a coin you'll definitely want in your collection, not just for its beauty, but for its rarity and investment potential. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: one extraordinary 2008 Oklahoma state quarter, featuring a rare double die error and preserved in pristine condition, was once sold for an unbelievable $99,000. Yes, that's right, $99,000 for a single quarter that someone might have once thought was worth only 25 cents. So, keep your eyes sharp and your coin jars close. You never know when you might be holding a piece of American history worth a fortune. If you enjoy learning about rare and valuable US coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from Coins Hunter USA. Every week, we explore the hidden treasures of American currency, from pennies and nickels to quarters and beyond. Remember, treasure hunting doesn't always happen in the mountains; sometimes, it's right in your pocket. And who knows? The next coin you find could be worth $99,000.